Well, I appreciate all you guys coming out. It's amazing how time flies. It didn't seem like it was that long ago we were sitting here having conversations about the 2015 season, but we're excited about the opportunity to go play. It's been a long camp, as camp always is. Like a lot of teams in the country, we're tired of beating on each other, and we're ready to go play. We have an opponent coming into Fifth Third Bank Stadium Saturday night that won 2 of their last 4 games, has revamped a little bit of their roster, especially defensively. They've made some changes on defense with some transfers. They've revamped their offensive line, and they're going to come in with a little chip on their shoulder, pretty much because of what happened to them at home last year. I think they'll be a highly motivated football team, and that's going to come in here ready to play. And I know we're going to be that way as well. But it's going to be a challenge. Anytime you line up and play, it's a challenge. You got to, one thing we talk our team all the time about, we got to come ready to play every week. One of the goals we set out for our team was 1-0, and that's a very business-like approach to every week. We want to come out and take care of business each week, and then we'll worry about the next week. So we're obviously excited about the opportunity to play. We're excited about playing a night game. There's a lot of great things going on here, and I know our kids and our staff and our fans and everybody involved is ready to play a football game. I'll open the floor for questions. Fire away, Doug.
You spoke yesterday on the Big South teleconference about you didn't like the way that y'all finished the season. And how much of that was related to just the team's lack of depth and experience, and how much of it was related to the fact that you were playing conference opponents instead of teams that you kind of got the handpick for your non-conference part of the schedule?
I think it was a combination of things. I think we expended a lot of energy being all the first early on. And I think we ran out of gas, we ran out of depth, a lot of things. But in the same breath, those guys that are out there can also play with better focus and intensity on doing what we need to do. So in answering your question yesterday, Doug, a lot of the focus for me in planning everything we're doing is to try to give us the best chance to be successful, not only coming out of the gates, but in the middle at the end as well. And, we set out on this journey, and I talked to you guys about this a lot. 6-5 was great. It was awesome, but that's not what we set out to do here. We came here to build a championship football program. And to do that, you're not playing 11 games or 12. You're playing a lot more than that. So everything we do in building this thing revolves around that. I don't know when all this is going to happen. I don't know when it's all going to come. I don't know. I don't have that magic ball. But everything we do revolves around that. And so each year I think we learn from things we did well and things we didn't do as well, and we build on that. And that's something, these guys don't even realize, but I put a lot of attention to in our planning of how we go about our business. I've talked to them a lot about practicing in shells with better intensity. We can't go out every day in pads and practice. And that's been a topic for these guys since we started camp, because, again, it's the longevity of things. We got to be better at the end. We got to be able to finish better.
Coach, going from year 1 to year 2 into this first game of the season, what have you seen the difference in your players? Because last year was a brand new beginning. This year, you got some veterans on the team. It's a little different perspective this year.
Well, I think the biggest thing is these guys have a little better idea what's coming. I think we all do. Every year's a new year, so I think you learn from your experiences. But every year's a new year. But I think they understand a little more of what's getting ready to happen as far as getting ready to play a college football game. I mean, last year we were all the same now. We had no idea what kind of football team we had, what was going to happen, traveling. I mean, you can't imagine the things outside of just the game that you've never done before that you're trying to work through. So we do have a lot of guys that have done that now. I think it's really dialing in on what your job is, how you're going about your business, and winning football games is really what, instead of all the stuff that goes around the first, a lot of the pageantry of the first and all that, that was all good, but now it's really time to dial into what we got to do on a Saturday night or Saturday afternoon. And I think that's the way these guys are right now.
But, Brian, you do have the mystery of that first night game this time. So, although you had your first and got a lot of them out of the way last year, your first night home game this year, coupled with that team that you beat by 40 last year, wanting to spoil this particular first for you, how do you get your guys ready to anticipate the storm that's coming from East Tennessee State?
Well, I think they understand, and I think I've tried to stress to them it doesn't matter. You got to come ready to play. We've talked about the situation, where we are, but at the end of the day, man, this is our opening ball game. It doesn't matter. ETSU, it doesn't matter. We got a chance to make a first impression of the 2016 football team. Not the 2015, the 2016 football team. We got a chance to make an impression in front of a packed stadium, in front of a lot of people watching on TV, a lot of people listening on the radio, all the different things going on. They're going to look and go, what is this team about? And I talked to our guys about first impressions. They can be lasting. We know we got a second, third, fourth, fifth ball game, but that first impression is important. And we got a chance to go make a big impression on how we go about our business, and how we do business here. So I think there's plenty enough motivation for us to go out and take care of business and do things the way we've worked on doing. Nothing's changed. It's our effort, our attitude, our toughness, the way we go about our business, the way we play the game. None of that has changed here. It should just be better. It should be better than it was because, shoot, we're a year older. It should be a lot better.
This might dovetail off of that, but listening to Coach Torbush when he was doing his presser yesterday, he said that this was going to be a measuring stick game for his program based on what happened last year, see how much better they've become in all areas. How do you look at this game, or is it just we're taking care of business?
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. We go do what we do, and we do it the way we're supposed to, and that's really all we look at. I don't really look at anything as a measuring stick right now. The measuring stick is the first team meeting we had, and we said we wanted to be a championship football team. And then we laid out how we go about doing that with our effort, our attitude, our toughness, the way we do things on both sides of the ball on special teams. And that's graded, that's evaluated on a daily basis. And these guys, that's all we've talked about since we've been here, and that's the first fall, and all we're doing is practicing. That's all we've talked about. So really, we've set the goals for the program, and the measuring stick is off of that. To be honest with you, we go look at that every week, and that's how we're evaluating it.
Are there any positions still up for grabs?
I think all positions are up for grabs to some degree, but I mean we have a pretty steady two deep that we put out. Now, I think once we get into the games, I think that'll determine a little bit of the ebb and flow of what happens. But those spots have been earned. I think there's some guys that are backups that possibly roles could change a little bit based on what happens in a game. But I think it's some are more solidified than others. But one thing and you guys that pay attention to depth charts, it doesn't matter who you are, where you're from, best man wins. And we are always evaluating that, so I don't think anything's ever necessarily etched in stone. There's some guys that have proven themselves here, over time, but we're always evaluating guys, and that I think this first game there'll be a little bit of that as well. I looked at I think there was 50 guys I calculated on a two deep, and that's not exactly two deep across the board as special teams. 33 are redshirt sophomores or younger. 17 are upperclassmen. We'll have probably 6 or 7 or 8 kids this will be their first college football game. Some are starting, be our first college football game. So we are a year older, yes, but we're still a really young football team. And I think everybody needs to understand that. We're still a really young football team. We're still in a growing process. We're still trying to build everything the right way. I think we took some leaps and bounds a year ago, but that's behind us now. So it was interesting. I did it myself. I went through and looked at it because I was curious. But still a majority of our football team is redshirt sophomores and younger.
When you look at game planning for this week, basically their entire secondary is different. Looks like they've had a pretty good overhaul on the offensive line. Do you, at that point, do you even bother pulling out tape from last year because the team is so different? How do you evaluate, or how do you utilize what you had on tape last year to help get ready for this year, considering they're so different?
Well, I think there's two things you're looking at now, John. You're looking at personnel, and then you're looking at scheme. The coaches hadn't changed. I think they got one coach that's new, but the coaches haven't changed. Some of the personnel's changed. I mean, you're going to have an idea schematically what they're trying to do based off last year. And they're just like us. They're not going to go wholesale change. They're trying to build a program. You know, they're going to have wrinkles. They're going to do anything they can to, you know, to change things up. But they're building a program too. And so, and then some of the personnel stuff, you do a background and all that. But some of you're not going to have any tape on. But we're no different. You know, they know what we're going to do. You know, I think we got an idea what they're going to do. And you got to go out and execute. You got to play. So I think it's two different things you're talking about. I think you're talking about personnel, and then you're talking about scheme. Some of the personnel we might not know as much about, just simply because they might not have played. I mean, you can go back and look. You can go look at where they came from. You can look at tape, but some of that. But the scheme part of it, you get an idea. And then everybody's got their wrinkles. You know, that's always part of it, and we have to identify those and move forward from there.
Coach, what do you expect from yourself going into your second inaugural game as the head coach?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I'm going to be probably as anxious and excited, different than a little bit last year, to be honest with you. I'm excited to see what our football team, our 2016 football team, is going to bring to the party. I'm excited to see that. There's a lot of things I could have done better last year that I'm going to learn from, just as I do every day in this role, and I will do every day in this role. I think I, like the players, have a little better idea of what's coming. But when you get on a given Saturday, you don't know. You don't know. You prepare yourself. You think through all the situations and scenarios, but that's the great game. I mean, all the people wouldn't come watch it if it was just status quo. That's what makes it great. So I think the big thing is managing the game, you know, I always try to find different ways to get our guys going. You know, that's my biggest challenge. You got a bunch of young men, you're trying to get them all in one direction. You know, continue to do that, and then just make sure on Saturdays I do the best job I can to help our football team win. You know, and don't do anything that would set it back. That every decision made is to help our football team win the game, and that's really all we've tried to do from the get-go here. And hopefully our communication lines, a lot of things that go on during the game, now that we've been through it, that's going to be improved. We've done it now. So I think there's a lot of things that should be better, and that's part of us growing as a staff as well as our team growing. You know, we're growing as a staff as well. Those communication lines, it takes time. It's not something that happens overnight. You just do it, and then you get a feel for what's going on. So I think we'll all be a little bit better in that area.
Have y'all noticed a change in Coach Bohannon from year 1 to year 2?
No, sir.
Not at all.
Nothing that he says that he doesn't say anymore, something that he's added, anything like that?
If anything, he's upped his intensity. He's still a very intense coach, and you know, he gets us motivated.
Trey, season 2 at the helm at QB. What are you looking for this year?
I'm looking for better execution. You know, last year, I think Coach Bohannon might have touched on it, but last year I thought as an offense we were successful just because we played really hard. I think this year we need to still play with that effort and intensity, but if we can execute better with that effort and intensity, you know, we could be dangerous. So I think more execution and you know, just everyone doing their job.
Hey, Derrick, the defense seems to be, a lot of people are talking about how much better and improved they're going to be. Do you see that from camp, and how's it going to translate in the season?
Well, yeah, we have got a lot better. You know, we are stronger in every position, and we have more depth now. But going into the season, we want to, you know, execute, as Trey just said. You know, last year we played hard, like everybody ran to the ball. This year is more about execution. We want to know what the man's beside you doing, the man in front of you doing. That'll help us out a lot going into the season.
Y'all use the phrase geeked about playing under the lights for the first time?
Oh yeah. We're all real excited. You know, I know our fans are excited about it as well. Everyone on campus, you know, all the students seem to be real pumped about, you know, the first night game, and you know, all the firsts are done, but you know, this is our first night game, so I mean, to say we're not excited about it, we'd be lying. So we're ready to go. But again, we have to lock in and focus because it's our first night game at home, but it's our first game of the 2016 season, and we got a first impression to make, and I think we're ready to play. I mean, we've practiced a lot, and like Coach said, if fall camp was long, so we're ready to play.
I'll also be excited to know that all the games will be on TV and radio as well.
Yeah, Derek, you want to?
Yeah, that'll be great publicity for us, but still, the main reason is to go out and play and win. It'll be a great rep for Kennesaw State. Get our name out there.
Yeah, it's real good exposure for our whole team, but our school as well. We're on the major radio, now TV, so it's awesome for the school and the community.
How are you a better player now than you were at this point last year?
Well, I hope obviously more games under my belt. Period. College football games. I've spent more time in the film room, and obviously just a whole nother year of strength and conditioning, and that goes for our team as a whole. One thing I think that has added to our depth this year is we've had a whole nother year of college strength and conditioning, which is it makes a difference in my opinion.
How is the relationship with you and Justin Sumner? Last year you guys connected a lot, but this year you had that full year off-season work. How much better will you guys be this year?
Well, I'd like to say we're going to be a whole lot better. Man, I'm real blessed as a quarterback to have 15, to have a receiver like Justin Sumter. Not only is he a physical specimen. I mean, man, he's got size, speed, hands, everything you want. But man, he works his tail off, and a lot of the things that the media and everyone doesn't see is the time we put in during the summer, the 7-on-7s, the time we went and just threw ourselves, but also Justin working on his own craft. If the work he put in pays off, then he's gonna have a great year.
You and Jake McKenzie coming in as quarterbacks, the chemistry in the backfield for spread offense is going to be tight. How has that helped you now he's transitioning to a B-back?
Yeah, it's been awesome. He's having a quarterback now at B-back. It definitely helps me. He gives me a hard time sometimes because I'll check a play that he was supposed to get, and he gives me a hard time. But he's a hard-nosed runner. One thing I think it adds is not only another great kind of power back for us, but it also adds depth to that B-back position because not only Jake McKenzie but Micah Reed is going to be a great player as well. But really having Jake from the quarterback to B-back transition, he's being a quarterback. You have to have some grasp of the offense. So just adding another player on the field that has that grasp at the same time is going to help our offense.
And for both of you guys, starting with Derek, how do you fight that complacency? I know you guys mentioned first impression and wanting to start this year off. It's a different year, but is there maybe a natural, a little bit of a complacency, even if you don't want it, even if you try to fight against it, for a team that you beat by 40 a year ago? I mean, how do you fight that natural feeling of, what, we whipped this team last year?
For me, I mean, it's easy, to get that, take it for granted. But then again, you have to think about it. Like, I'm a senior now. This will be my last season ever putting on a college football uniform. So you have to try to come out every day and cherish the moment and try to give everything you got, because knowing at the end of the season that will be my last time suiting up for Kennesaw State.
Did y'all run out of emotional energy last season? Did you just kind of feel it gone about halfway through, like Coach Bohannon was talking about?
The last few games, you could kind of feel like guys we were trying to fight through it, but kind of physically drained, kind of started to kick in.
Hey, Derek, how ready are you to get somebody else that doesn't wear your colors?
Hey, I'm ready, man. Have to go against the offense every day, tackling Trey. But yeah, I'm ready, man, to come out, fly around, most of all, and just go top off, give everything you got, and put it all on the line for Kennesaw.
With defense being such an emotional, it takes a lot of emotion to play defense.
But most of all, we'll probably be in the office all day, staying off your feet, trying to, mentally get prepared and, what they say, picture yourself making plays and just kind of chill and get your mind right. Wait for 7 o'clock.
Anything else? All right, fellas, thanks very much. Appreciate it.
Thanks, y'all.
Thank y'all.